use for parallel and perpendicular? For parallel, you can use two lines that look like two L's next to each other. And for perpendicular, it's an upside capital T. There's your, so it's those and this one right here. Those are your two symbols that we can use instead of writing out the words parallel and perpendicular. Some vocabulary you need to know. Parallel lines are lines in the same plane that never intersect. And that's the reason why those symbols work together, because they are parallel lines when you do it. A perpendicular lines are lines that intersect to form right angles. And if you look at the symbol for perpendicular, if we wrote it perfectly, they would be 90-degree angles. That means a right angle for you guys. 90 degrees is a right angle. Perpendicular is words you'll be using in future classes, maybe future, I know for your geometry and stuff like that, you'll use that a lot more. Property, slopes of parallel lines. They have the same slope. They have to have the same slope, but different y-intercepts. So for us, we're going to use the y-intercept slope intercept form. For you who remember, that's y equals mx plus b. So for parallel lines, they need to have the same m. So same m, but different b. If you have the same b and the same slope, that means it's the same line. So that's the reason why they are, that would be considered coincide if they have the same of both. Okay, then you have slopes of perpendicular lines. The slopes are opposite and reciprocal. So if I have y equals 3x plus 4, if I'm going to do a perpendicular lines, I would have to all I would need to do is find out the slope that's opposite of 3. So that would be a negative because it's a positive 3. And the reciprocal of 3, which would make it 1/3. And that would be my slope of a perpendicular line to this line. If I looked at slopes of parallel lines, it would be y equals 3x plus 4. And a line parallel to that would be y equals 3x minus 2. So if I look at it, notice they have the same slope, but different y-intercepts. For slopes of perpendicular lines, you can take that negative 1/3 and make it y equals, and negative 1/3, you need that x, and then the point, whatever point they have. It can also be plus 4 too. You never know. That could be where they intersect together. Let's go over some of this. Okay. Find the slope of a line parallel to the graph of each. Again, you need to get y by itself. So, again, we need to get it y equals mx plus b. So, A, is y by itself? Yes, y has nothing attached with it except an equal sign, so that works perfectly. So we're going to find the slope of a parallel line. So next you look at the slope. Remember, with parallel lines, they need to be the same m, or slope. Okay? So if I'm looking at parallel, the same slope of 5, 6 is 5, 6. And there's your answer. Okay, B is y by itself. No, it is not. So I need to subtract 5x. This information kind of like is what we had taking standard form and turning it back into slope-intercept form. So I'm going to subtract 5x to both sides. So it's going to be 2y equals negative 5x plus 6. Then I divide by 2. If I divide the negative 5 by 2, I also have to divide the 6 by 2. So now it's y equals negative 5 halves x plus 3. Now, here is the slope now, since we got y by itself. Slope of the line. Now, to make it a parallel line, the slope of the parallel line is also going to be negative 5 halves. Okay. C, I have y equals negative 5. Now again, the y is by itself, and I need to figure out where x is. Well, x is gone, so it must be multiplied by 0. So my slope, if I looked at it with all the information I have, it would look like this. Now, because 0 times x equals 0x, 0x equals 0, it takes it away. That's the reason why. So I have the same slope for parallel lines, so my slope would be 0. Now if it was perpendicular, that would be the opposite of 0 for perpendicular. You remember the line on this is that very slow slope when you're snow skiing. But the opposite of it would be undefined. So if you have this problem, if you need to figure out what the slope of the perpendicular is, it would be undefined. Just giving you hints, maybe for your homework tonight. Now, are the graphs of the lines in each pair parallel? Well, I have A, and the first one is already in y form, so here is the slope of the first problem. Now I have to find the second problem. I need to get that y by itself. So first of all, I'm going to subtract 2x to both sides. Remember, you cannot put these together. They are not like terms. So 6y equals, and I would put the x first, so negative 2x plus 12. Divide by 6 to every number. So y equals, reduce this, so that would be negative 1/3 x plus 2. Now, let's look at it. Do they have the same slope? Yes, they do. Do they have different y-intercepts? Yes, they do. Are the lines parallel then? Yes. B. On B, the top one is not done, but the bottom one is, so that's a 3/4. So I'm going to take the top one and put it to the side and find out what the answer would be. So I need to add a 6x to both sides. So it's going to be 8y equals 6x minus 24. Divide by 8. And so y equals, reduce 6. So 2 goes into both, 3/4 x minus big chance 4. 16 and 16, that's 32, so 3. Alright, so again, you look at the slopes, and they're both 3/4, so it's yes. If they did not have the same slopes and different y-intercepts, then you would say no. Okay, so the second part is a little different. So you're going to have to, it says write an equation for the line that is parallel to the given line. and it passes through the given points. So we're going to do two things. Step 1, find slope. So we're doing parallel. So my slope is whatever that slope is that they gave you when y equals by itself. So m equals 5. Then I have a point. If I have a slope and a point, there is a formula we can use. We have a slope and a point. So, or a point and a slope. So that would be the point slope form. So taking the stuff we've learned from the past lessons and putting it together. For you, for point slope, remember it's y minus y1. This is the numbers that are going to change. Equals m and x minus x1. And then after that, so we're going to plug those numbers into the y1 and x1s and m's. So it's going to look like this. Y minus, and then you find y1. So that would be this -2. So negative and a negative make a +2 equals m, which is 5. And then x minus 0. And then the so that's the point step. Step 2 is step 2. This is step 1. Step 2 is point slope form. Step 3, turn it into the slope intercept form. Okay, so remember that is y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to distribute. So y plus 2 equals 5x. I don't need -0 because I know it's -0. And then to get y by itself, subtract 2. So y equals 5x minus 2. And here's your answer. Let's try it one more time, and I'm going to have you do C and D by yourself. And then I think we're going to stop there and go to a different video for the perpendicular. So again, my slope, m equals whatever this number is, that's 3/4. And then now second step is point slope form, so it's going to be y minus 8 equals, remember this is x and y minus 8 equals 3/4 m minus 1. And then distribute. So y minus 8 equals 3/4 m minus 3/4. Then I'm going to add 8 to the like number. So y equals 3/4. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean m, I meant x. 3/4 x. Okay, so 8, -3/4 plus 8. So because one's a negative and one's a positive, you're going to subtract them. So I start with 8, and I take 3/4 of a number away. So I know I have 7, and I have how much left over? I have 3/4 of it was taken away, so 1/4 was left over. So it's y equals 3/4 x plus 7 and 1/4. Okay, I would like you to try C and D by yourself. Put me on pause and try it. Okay, so for C, I showed you what the point slope form would look like, and then you have, and then I told you what slope intercept would look like. It's y equals 0.5x plus 5, or you could turn it into y equals 1/2 x plus 5.